How's it going, pilots? Mookro here. And today is my last Titan guide. It's the Ronin guide that I've been looking forward to do for since I started doing this whole series. Doing this guide, I've learned a lot about him. Like, he is just so interesting. He has some very interesting mechanics, and there's just some secrets that many people don't know about him. So I guarantee you're going to learn something new because there's just so much information. So Ronin is the anime sword-wielding, nuke-ejecting Titan that people have come to hate and love. He is a fun Titan and is an assassin-like Titan, coming in to finish off that Titan with just half a bar of health left, or in the doom state, or an amazing pilot killer, dashing and using his sword with its extended range to slice up pilots like Shusi, which is how I usually play him. He has 7,500 HP and has 2 dashes by default, or 3 with the upgrade, and he is probably the only Titan I would suggest running nuke eject and not the extra dash. At first I used to always use the extra dash with him, but I started using the nuke ejection with him, and honestly I think that's how he's meant to be played. Just trying to kill yourself and taking somebody with you so that way you can get another Ronin and repeat the process. His weapon of choice is the lead wall, which fits the name perfectly. You have 4 clips that fire out 8 pellet-like shots. These travel very fast and deal tremendous damage, and about half a bar of damage. The farther they travel, the less damage they do, and eventually they will just disappear, and their distance to travel before they disappear isn't that far. So don't try sniping people with the lead wall. Get as close as possible, just get right up in their face and shoot them. Like all Titan weapons, the reload takes 5 seconds. The perk, Ricochet Rounds, is nice to help kill pilots thanks to the bounciness they provide, and it can be used to kill pilots rodeoing you. I saw a video of some guy doing it, but I tried pulling this off and it is extremely hard. You have to get the right trajectory and just the right angle. To me personally, this perk isn't that good compared to the others. It's more of just a fun thing to run because you can pull off some very interesting kills with it. So, sword block. Sword block can do a lot more stuff than you would think. A lot of stuff. Using this ability slows you down a bit, however you reduce all damage, so it only does about a very, very small amount. Like, a very tiny. Always sword block the second you take damage from anything. Anything that hits you, instantly use that sword block. Always sword block. This is the best Titan shield in the game due to it literally works for everything. You can survive a nuke, although barely. It's better to just dash away from a nuke. Don't walk up to it using your sword block, because the damage that it deals to you, it's better off just to run away. You can survive all the Titan cores if you have enough health. Tone's core becomes a joke with your sword block. It's laughable. North Star core deals way less damage. It's kind of funny how much it gets reduced by. Legion core does next to nothing except 2 bars of damage. It's really funny just how much it gets reduced by. Scorch's core is even mitigated as well, which was surprisingly to me because it's on the ground. The only core that is still deadly is Ion's core. That laser just simply does not care at all if you sword block or not. It's still deadly. You don't even need to be facing the direction of damage to reduce it. It works 360 degrees all around when you use it. That's what makes it so useful. What else can sword block mitigate? Well, it works for Scorch's firewall, which is pretty funny. It even works for canister traps, making the damage you take feel like it's simply tickling you. So you can just walk through that fire and just take little to nothing, almost no damage at all. You're still going to take damage.
It's better than taking you so
It even reduces Scorch's flame shield damage. So the second they run up to your face, you can just use that sword and just laugh at it, which is kind of weird. It even mitigates Ion's traps. You know, those little 3 traps that she shoots out. Yeah, you reduce the damage by that by a lot. So always sword block. Always, always. Arc Wave acts like Scorch's firewall ability. It travels down holes and up small obstacles. It is extremely fast moving and deals half a bar damage, like your shotgun. It always slows enemy Titans to almost like they're crouched pretty much, and it lasts for 5 seconds. it has a cooldown of 15 seconds. Running the perk Thunderstorm gives you 2 charges, and that's what I personally run. A fun and great strategy is to run this and nuke eject. Find your target and hit them with both charges. This almost guarantees they will die, and you will get a new Ronin. The Arc Wave will destroy Tonge and Legion Shield instantly. However, an Ion and Scorch's Shield will block it completely. And another, if an enemy Ronin uses their sword block, you will mitigate the damage, but you will still be affected by the slowness that it gives you. So Phase Dash is something interesting that Ronin has. Ronin enters the upside down for about 1 second, while phase dashing whichever direction you are moving in, then that's where you will go. So if you want to phase dash to the left, you move your analog stick to the left, and vice versa. To the right, you go right. Up, you go up. Back, you go back. If you don't move in any direction at all, you'll just phase dash and you won't move. You'll just reappear in the exact same spot. Phase dash gives you enough speed to traverse small gaps. It has a cooldown of 15 seconds, and with its upgrade Temporal Anomaly, the cooldown becomes 10 seconds. So, to me, that doesn't justify the use of it, but to you, it might. A nice little strategy is while you're being rodeoed, if you time the battery pulling just right, which usually the animation takes about 6 seconds, then you phase dash right when they're about ready to jump off of you. You won't take any damage at all, and you will get a free battery. This happens because any damage you take in the upside down does not exist in the real world. Be careful though, because you can get yourself killed while phase dashing if you reappear in an enemy Titan or Reaper. All Reapers must die. Then you will explode and die and be pissed because it's a cheap death. I remember the first time that happened to me. I was so pissed. It made me not even want to play Ronin anymore because I thought that was so cheap. Because when you phase dash as a pilot and you reappear in another pilot, they die. But if you do as a Titan, you die. I guess I can kind of understand why. Because that's kind of cheap. You could just kill all the Titans pretty much. With just by phase dashing into them and reappearing. But I don't think it should just outright kill you. I think it should just damage you. Like deal bar damage. And Reapers too. I don't think Reapers should kill you, too. That's just stupid, but hey, hopefully they fix that in a patch. So, an interesting thing, the phase dash, or the phase reflex, keeps you in that state longer than a normal phase dash. The phase reflex ability, it lasts for 3 seconds, while the other one is 1 second. So it is the equivalent of 3 phase dashes. Phase reflex is nice to run, but if you're going for the suicide nuke Ronin style, it doesn't help you that much. Everyone knows this trick by now. Everybody knows it by now. I know it. My friends know it. Everybody knows it. The only people who don't know it are brand new players. So you might get a new player or two with it, but everybody knows it. Everybody knows Ronin runs nuke eject almost always. So you need to hit them with that Thunderstorm ability, so that way you can kind of increase your chances of getting them to die from it. And if you run the phase reflex ability, you won't be able to hit them with that, because you can't use your, if you use your abilities in the upside down, they won't affect the other Titans. So it doesn't really help you that much. Honestly, it was fun to use for like the first week, but now everybody knows about it, so it's useless now. So, before we talk about Sword Core, let's talk about the melee system. A regular Titan melee that's not Ronin's deals 1/8 of a bar of damage. So that means it takes 8 punches to deal a full bar damage, a full 2,500 damage. Ronin's sword deals double that. So it takes 4 swipes to deal 2,500 damage. It's better to use your shotgun for damage than the melee, since your shotgun deals half a bar damage. Alright, so that's just try to remember that. It's better to use your shotgun than the melee. On the sword core, Ronin energizes his sword and enters a state that makes you glow and recharges your dashes in 1 second instead of the usual 3 to 5 seconds. While in this state, your melee deals 3/4 of a bar of damage, and your sword block is much more powerful, further reducing damage. Honestly, this core is a last-ditch effort, meaning you're taking somebody down with you. If you're running Highlander, which is for every Titan kill, your meter fills up, and it fills your meter up about 70%, which is actually really good. That's crazy. I would run this, but due to how Sword Core is a death sentence and doesn't give you any real defensive passive abilities, it doesn't make it worth it, really. It doesn't. Honestly, I wish Respawn would give a passive where you can't get executed while you have Sword Core activated, and it also makes you take like a damage reduction, like 25%. Because Sword Core is like, it is probably the worst core now. It used to be Northstar's core, but now it's Sword Core. Honestly, I wouldn't complain if they buff Sword Core, and if they do, all the cores would be pretty fine. Actually, everything, all the Titans would be pretty well balanced. Unless you're one of those people that still think Tone is overpowered. That shield's just overpowered for Tone, but that's neither here nor there. I already talked about that in the Tone guide. But that's the guide, everybody. If you like it, please be sure to like it and tell me I'm doing a good job, and be sure to dislike it if you didn't like it, and let me know in the comments section what I did wrong. Be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be making more guides and possibly future things that I have planned for this game and future videos for other games. But now I'm going to just talk about my opinions of Ronin. Well, Ronin, honestly, he kind of seems like a gimmicky Titan to me, personally. He's more of a fun Titan. He can be very deadly. I've seen some amazing Ronin people on PS4. I'm sure there's even better on on PC and on Xbox, but he's more of just like a fun Titan to use. He's really not that effective. He's more of just a, like he comes in for that quick kill or just those cheesy kills, like just running up and nuke ejecting and hoping to get you. That's pretty much what he is. He's just a suiciding Titan or an amazing pilot killer. He is so effective at killing pilots. He's honestly meant to kill pilots than Titans. He's so deadly with pilots. I love playing Ronin and just looking for pilots. That's pretty much what I do most of the time. I don't even engage Titans. I only engage Titans unless I know for a fact I want to kill myself. And also, if you engage Titans, try to go for Scorches and Legions because, you know, most of the times they don't have a dash, and if they do, it's only one dash. It never works for Northstars. Northstars always run away. Tones, I occasionally get Tones. But he's pretty good, but I really just wish that core would have a slight little buff to it. I mean, it already is powerful. That thing can, if you activate it, it is really good if you activate it because it increases your damage and your sword block gets powerful, which is awesome. But the problem is, usually by the time you have it, you're already at half health or less, and you're vulnerable to executions, which is what makes it the worst part because all it takes is somebody to hit you with a melee and you're dead. So that's the one problem with Sword Core, and that's why I really wish, and I'm hoping they make it so that way you're invincible to executions. Otherwise, Sword Core is kind of useless other than just, hey, I'm taking you with me. That's pretty much what Sword Core is. But Ronin is definitely a good Titan to use in the right hands. What I hate the most in most Titan battles is a full health Ronin comes out of nowhere and just kills me when I have like 2 bars of health. You know, I'm fighting another Titan, I'm doing pretty good, it's a good fight, and then out of nowhere, Ronin comes in and just kills me. It's kind of what Ronin is. It's that annoying Titan that comes out of nowhere to kill you. He's also very good in last Titan standing matches where he's the first one to rush in because he causes so much havoc. Because everybody immediately focuses their attention on him, leaving your other teammates to like get in closer and get in good surroundings to kill everybody. Like what I'm doing right here. I'm getting in, I'm disrupting them so much that way my other teammates can get in and finish them off. It's so effective as a Ronin player. If you can get a team of people who know what they're doing and just have a Ronin player rush in and try to cause as much havoc as possible and much damage. That I've noticed it. A lot of people do that, and it's so effective because he's just so good at causing havoc. That's pretty much what he is. He's meant for people who just love, who just love going in, don't even care if they die because it's Ronin. That's what he does. He causes havoc, and he's very fast. He's very aggressive, which is also another reason why I like playing him. But that's pretty much it. And that's honestly it for the guides. I mean, I plan on making more guides, but probably tips and tricks and top 5s that people don't know about. Like, there's some new tips I've learned that not many people know about. But after making these guides, there's one thing that's definitely clear. All the Titans have the same reload speed, so it's 5 seconds. And just, I'm very glad I did it because it's very educational. I've learned a lot.